Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Clara Rose. I am your savvy entrepreneur and show host, Clara Rose. Every week, of course, I bring you interesting topics about being a savvy entrepreneur, or I bring you a special guest. And I have brought back a special guest by popular demand. She was here with us a few weeks ago talking about wellness, and I have her back again today. Please help me welcome Melissa Taylor.
Hey, Clara, thanks for having me.
Welcome back, my friend. So we had such a great show last time talking about what it is that you do. But for those who didn't get to see that particular episode, give us a rundown so that the newbies know what it is that you do.
Definitely. So I am a health and wellness coach, and my background was I owned a gym for over 20 years, helped people with nutrition and kind of behavioral modifications with working out and even without, just depending on what they were doing, and just trying to bring hope into a space that is kind of challenging with all these options out there.
Yeah,
even for myself.
Right? Because we're all in the same boat together.
Definitely.
Right? Okay, so you don't own the gym any longer.
No.
So you focus on the other side of things. Talk about that a little bit.
So obviously we owned the gym. You know, working out was first and foremost on our first day. And what we've noticed through time is the more challenging part was the nutrition and the mindset shift that needs to occur. So with what I do now, I do it online, and I'm able to work with people all over the country. So I'm not limited to location.
Right.
That
Which
helps.
For a gym, you definitely are.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
If you live more than, well, at least for me, if I live more than 20 minutes away, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Right?
And they even say it's even less than that. I think it was 3 to 5 miles is the ideal space from work or home. So you could see how you then become limited to who you can help.
Right.
You know? So doing it online, I'm able to work with people of all ages, all backgrounds. We all know not everybody likes going to the gym.
Right.
So I'm able to work with them on areas that we can improve so that naturally they want to move at some point and be more active.
Right. And then there's lots of different options for being active.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in the gym.
Exactly.
Some gyms are more pleasant than others to be in.
Very true.
So I'm currently kickboxing twice a week.
Love it.
Yes.
How are you
I
liking
love
that?
it too. I love it. I do.
What are you enjoying most?
Well, it's kind of empowering feeling, actually, right? So I'm learning, how to jab and, uppercuts, and I'm having to balance because we're doing front kicks and roundhouse, and so I'm using my body in ways that I haven't used my body before.
Love it.
And when I'm done, I'm like drenched in sweat.
You have to feel accomplished, right?
Yes, so I feel accomplished, and we go through. It's my trainer she owns a couple of 9-round fitness facilities, so it's based on that concept.
I might have to join you sometime.
Of doing 9 rounds. I'm telling you,
I'd love to come.
She kicks your hiney. She totally does.
Love it.
And then because it's customized for me specifically, she also takes me to a machine that has. We're doing some upper body strength training because that's like my weenie part of my body, definitely.
Right.
I don't have a lot of upper body strength, so we're really working on that, and then we're working on my core strength as well. So she works me pretty hard.
That's great. Love it.
I used to be able to go
You're twice a week?
Yes,
going to
twice
that?
a week. Yeah. I could go 3 times, but I don't want to abandon my daughter and I go to the gym after work on the other days, so I don't want to abandon her too many days.
That's great, and we're going to talk about that later with accountability.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
That's really good.
I do love it. Yeah.
That's great. Well, and you're an example, for those that don't know, Clara's been working with me with her nutrition and mindset.
Yes.
And you're a prime example how you working on that first.
Right.
And then now adding in your exercise has been great, and you've been consistent with it.
Very consistent.
Which is awesome. Where if you would have started it maybe from day one when we were working together, there's a lot of pieces to try to put together
all at one time. Yeah. So because I started the nutrition piece first, we started in July, and so at the end of that year, actually January, so the end of that year, there was the local gym had a special. right?
I remember, that's right.
So I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to join the gym, and I hired a personal trainer. So January, so it's been a year and a half.
Exactly.
Right. So like, okay, yeah, so really our journey began 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we've been working together for 2 years. So 30 pounds.
Which is
in
wonderful.
2 years, which is slower than a lot of people do it. And I understand that. But that's not what it's about for me, right?
That's right. And what
healthier
was
and
good, as you
stronger.
know, is that everybody's goals are going to be different.
Right.
And that's what we're going to talk about too, is with our
Yes.
goals, right? Some people
Yeah.
are willing to say, I'm just going to go this direction and I'm going to keep my blinders on.
Right.
And it works for them.
Yes.
Or they crash and burn, right? Because they're so they have their blinders on, and when they go off track, they really feel like they're, quote, cheating, like we talked
Right.
about cheating on the
Right.
diet. And like, oh, this isn't going to work at all.
Yeah, right.
Whereas with you, I like that we've taken small steps along the way, and I think it's something more maintainable.
It is.
Right.
And you don't ever feel like, I can't do this.
Right.
Right? Because you're just not overwhelmed by all this stuff. It's just these little things, little habits, little daily changes,
Exactly.
little, incremental. And that works for everyone. It's just slower.
Yeah.
And not everyone's willing to it's mindset thing, right? So you can't say, oh, I want to lose 40 pounds by next month, right?
Right.
Right? If you could pull that off, good for you, but that's not staying off, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's about figuring out, and we hear this all the time, what's your why? What's your why? But you have something different to say, right?
And it's so funny. You even put down what's your why with a big X.
And crossed it out. Yes.
And we know that's a big saying, right, with our
Right.
business, with our
Right.
finances, our relationship. But what we discussed, which we kind of said that this works even with what you do, is, what are you trying to accomplish?
Right.
Being very specific with that, and who can help you in that space.
Right.
And I think what you want to accomplish needs to be very specific.
Right.
And then when people ask why, it's more the what. I think about it as, okay, so let's just say someone wants to lose weight, right? As an example with this. Then from there, what my thought with that isn't just the why part, but what I've been working with lately is we all knew that we do things out of fear or pleasure. There's kind of two. Let me back up. Pain or pleasure.
Pain or pleasure.
Right?
Or
We
habit.
know that one. Or habit,
There's
right?
always habit.
So a lot of times it's the pain of, a doctor's telling you, hey, if we don't do this, you're probably going to be on meds the rest of your life. You're probably going to.
You're going to die.
Yeah, or that.
Right.
We might not see your
die.
kids get till 18 or whatever
Right,
that is.
right.
And then pleasure, again, we have other things that we do that we're willing to sacrifice for pleasure.
Sure.
The way that we look, the way that we feel, those types of things. But what it made me think about is if we're specific with, okay, if we continue where we're going for 1 year, 5 year, 10
Right.
year,
Where will we be?
where will we be?
Right.
And we do the math, right? Okay, I've been gaining 5-10 pounds a year, so if I don't change
So
something,
what do we look like in 10
what's-
years?
and just being
Right?
real with
That's
that.
significant.
I think when you're just real with someone, if we continue the same path, then you're probably going to get the results you've gotten so
Right.
far.
Right.
So something needs to change, right?
Yeah, that's pretty universally true in everything in our
Right?
life, right? If you keep doing the same things,
Overspending.
you're going to get the same results.
More
right?
credit card debt.
And to think that that's not true is insanity, right?
Right.
That's the definition of sanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different
Different
result.
results,
So we
exactly.
have to do something different if we want a different result.
Exactly. So then that's where when you think about who can help you, we all think at times that asking for help is weakness, but we all know it's the complete opposite. When you ask for help to the right people.
Right.
So again, people come to you in the space that you're in to help
Right.
them do the things that you're good at and have the experience and can say, hey, I've done this before with these
Right.
people. I feel the same with what I do. You don't want to go to someone that hasn't been able to do that.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's
That's
almost like when you go
true.
to
That's
someone,
true.
if you have relationship issues and you're going to someone that's been divorced 3 times, nothing
Right.
against that, but
But there's
probably,
a sign there, right? There's a sign.
yeah. So I think that's the thing, is going to someone that has the track record
Right.
of helping people in that space and that are passionate about it and that are
Right.
willing to say, maybe you're not going to go at the pace that I think you should go at,
Right.
but I'm willing to work with them and not give up in that space.
Right.
So I think that's really important. So again, what do you want to accomplish?
Right.
And who can help you in that space
Right.
that's qualified?
Right. That's qualified. I guess that's a good disclaimer because lots of people the same has been true for me for many years. Lots of people will, I'll help you write your book. I can help you write your book. I can, edit your book. But they don't have the experience to back that up.
Right.
And then you end up with a poor quality book, or it doesn't
Right.
actually ever happen.
Right, I bet.
So you need somebody who has the qualifications, so who can say, yes, I've done it. I've had this success. Here, let me walk with you.
Yeah.
Let me help you make that happen. And we talked about this before, that's what coaching really is about, right? Coaching is really about having somebody who walks with you, who has been there, who knows what they're saying, knows what they're doing to help you achieve something. So helping you in the beginning to say, okay, what is it that you want to accomplish, right? What do you want to accomplish? And then having somebody to say, okay, here's a path to that, right? And that's where you come in. So you can say,
Well, it's interesting.
There's a path there.
Yeah. And it was interesting when you think about we are what we think, right? What we're, our thoughts and what we're thinking about. So I always use the example of usually we ask ourselves questions all the time, right? And we have this question
Dialogue.
Yep. Why can't I lose weight? Why am I yo-yo dieting? Why is it that when I start on Monday, I give up by Tuesday?
Or Monday afternoon.
Right. So what I always ask my clients is, okay, you're asking yourself these questions, and very quickly our brains are going to answer that question. It's going to be usually very negative, and you're going to come up with because our family's all overweight, because you aren't good at keeping your promises, because you're lazy. We come up with answers. Yeah.
I want to eat good food.
Yep.
I don't want to change. Right?
Exactly. So instead of asking ourselves, why can't I do this? You want to ask yourself a better question. So it's, instead of why am I not losing weight? Then we're going to ask something like, how can I lose weight? Which now your brain's going to start thinking of possible solutions, like, I can find a trainer, I can call a friend and maybe have a buddy that I'm going to walk with, and you're going to start coming up with more positive, how can I lose weight? And then the last part is, how can I lose weight and enjoy the process? Or how can I get healthy and enjoy the process?
Right.
So maybe it's not going to the gym for someone in the beginning,
somebody,
in the beginning, or maybe it's not doing certain things, but for them to enjoy that process, what does that look like? So you think about someone that doesn't like to cook, and maybe that's been their sticking point. Well, then let's not cook. Where can we order from, or what can we do? Don't let that be what holds you back.
Right.
If that's not the space at the time.
Right.
I don't love to cook, but I'm learning different things.
Right.
And open to trying different things, even as a health coach. There's ways to get around certain things, and being honest with what your strengths are.
Right. That's a big deal right there. Right. An honest look at what your strengths and weaknesses are. I love to cook. Right. So for me, that can be a real weakness because my husband will say, gosh, I wish that I had something yummy. And I'm like, well, there's blueberries in the freezer. I could make you a blueberry crumble, or I could, I have all these.
Like this.
Right, yeah. I'm like, I could whip out I have stuff. I can make you an apple pie. I could, Or they say, what's yummy for dinner? And I'm like, well, I could make a big old pot of spaghetti, or I could make chicken cordon bleu. I have all the stuff for, Because for years I've just been cooking all this yummy food. And quite frankly, all this yummy food is not all that healthy.
Exactly.
Right? So for me, it's been more a struggle of figuring out how do I make the stuff that I am cooking, make it healthier.
Exactly.
Right? Healthier choices.
And that's a huge
so that
one.
I can enjoy the process. Right?
And that's exactly it, right? So you don't want to give up on, that's a passion of yours, and it's a great thing. So how do we make Mexican or Italian or American? And there's so many options, as you know, which we've discussed, and there's so many recipes now that give you, again, with your husband, it's a little tricky at times.
He's trickier. Doesn't want any of the, weird vegetables.
Yeah. Well, remember we talked about radishes.
Yes, so I haven't tried it.
So we talked about radishes, being able to put those in the air fryer or to roast them, which I thought would not taste. I thought it would still taste like a radish, but they truly taste like little red potatoes when you bake them.
Last night I did a precursor to trying that. I bought the little white potatoes and did the same exact process with some sea salt and some olive oil, and I threw those in and roasted them up as part of dinner. And I just then asked him, "How did you like them?" And he said, "Oh, those are pretty good. I like those. Those are pretty good."
Now we'll sneak in.
So and then I said, "So I think I'm going to try some red potatoes."
No, you didn't.
I did.
That is so fun.
So
You're getting them ready.
I'm getting them ready. We're easing towards, if he sees this show, he's going to be on to me.
That's funny.
But if they taste yummy, then he's not going to care, right? Because for him, it's about the meal tasting. I guess I've just spoiled him by cooking all these wonderful foods for all these years, and even my children, they still call me. My children are 38, 39, and 40, and they will call me and say, "Mom, how do I do X, right? What is your recipe for that ham and potato soup that you make, right? Or what is your recipe for stuffing?" Right? Because they're like after mom's good food. So if it tastes good, he's not going to complain about it.
Yep.
And if he likes it, says, "Ooh, this is really good," and then I can say, "Oh, well, this was a healthier version of what I usually do. I did this," but he's already said, "Yes, I like it."
Exactly.
Right? So I don't tell him ahead of time.
No, definitely not. We don't tell him we're making radishes as potatoes.
Radishes as potatoes. We're going to just try it and see what he says.
Exactly.
And then if they're yummy, I don't know if I'll even tell him. Maybe I won't even tell him.
Don't tell him.
No,
Let's keep it a secret. Don't let him watch this episode.
Right. He doesn't always watch my episodes, but if he stumbles across it, then I'm in trouble. But anyway.
And then what I was thinking about is, and we've talked about this as well, is people have to be ready for change.
Right.
And this made me think about, I was at the grocery store today, and I heard two employees talking about Ozempic, which most people know of that, which is, if I've got this right, for diabetic patients typically.
Right. It's semaglutide.
Yes.
Right.
And the whole idea typically is to help them with their A1Cs and to get them in a healthier space. But now we know that it's being touted as the new
It actually helps people lose weight.
Weight loss.
Right.
Drug. So to hear them talk back and forth, both of these people that are diabetic, one is a little bit overweight, one's not overweight at all, but both have been on it for a long time. I overheard them talking that both of them had issues getting it. And one of the ladies said she hadn't had it for 4 weeks because so many people that don't need it, and I'm just bringing that up because that don't need it, meaning they could change their behavioral type things,
right,
but are choosing not to. It's causing a shortage with the people that really need it. Let's go with that route. So it opened up a conversation with the two of them, and that's what we were talking about, is that if people aren't willing to change, some of their habits, right? I could give my services away for free, and it wouldn't make a difference. Yeah, right? It wouldn't make a difference. So I always tell people that's the main thing you need to ask yourself, and only you know the answer. I had a lady the other day that, she signed up for a month with me. Everything's month to month, so that's nice on that end. And we're putting her off for 2 more months to start. And literally, it's a mindset thing for her. She's not ready yet.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, look, only you know when you're ready to make some changes, because I am going to ask you to make some changes, You're going to have to give up the bowl of ice cream at night or the whatever. And we're going to have to make some changes. And we'll talk about what you're willing to let go of it, one thing at a time. But if you're not willing to do that, then no program's going to work.
Right. Why even bother to start?
Yeah. And it's going to be more frustrating for her, for me. So I think that's the question I would ask everybody when you're starting a journey. Are you really ready to make some changes to get those results that you want?
Right.
So is that what you want important enough to make some changes?
What do you want to accomplish? And then no sense in finding the who unless you are really ready to make a commitment to that. Well, and for me in the beginning, you might remember that I said, I am unwilling to give up my coffee with my half and half in it, right? In the morning, I am unwilling. That was like my line in the sand, right? Like so many, of the things that I'd been trying, like my daughter and I, would try different things, and one of them was the fasting thing. Right. Fast for 12 hours, fast for 18 hours, whatever it was. I'm like, when I get up in the morning, I need my coffee. And they're like, you can have your coffee if you give up your cream. I'm like, no.
That's where I draw the line.
I'm willing to give up my half and half in my coffee. So I haven't.
Yeah.
Right. And I just told you that right up front. I'm unwilling to do that.
Yeah.
And you said, okay, that's fine.
That's right.
Right. And that made it easier. Had you said, nope, you absolutely have to, follow this exactly, or
thanks, Melissa, but no thanks.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Right. Yeah. I would have said, let me think about it and call you never. Right. Because that was a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Right. And because I'm willing to go at a slower pace, I don't care. If it takes me 3 years or 5, whatever, to get to my goal, I don't care, because, what is your goal?
Right.
I do have a goal. And I've said it out loud to a few people.
Have you
I've
told
said
me?
it to you.
Remind me. What's the
to be
latest one?
in the best shape of my life by the time I turn 60.
60, which is?
Well, I'm 58 now.
Okay,
I
so
turned 58. So
2
we
years.
have a couple of years left.
I love it.
And so it took me a really long time. It took me over a year to say that out loud. Right. For a long time, it was just me in my head, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life by the time I'm 60. Because 60 sounds like such a significant age to me, right? Yeah, it's significant. So I thought, okay, that's my intention. That's my goal right there. But it took me like a year before I said it to anybody, right? So first of all, I had to feel like it was possible, right? That I could actually get in shape, and that I could change my habits, and that it was possible.
And you're seeing it,
and
becoming
small increments. I'm inching toward it. So now it has upped my belief, right?
Love
so
it.
now that's my 3rd week of kickboxing.
It's great.
Right? So that my thought process has changed.
Right.
To me feeling like that's possible.
I love it.
I can do that. And I feel way more capable, right? Like,
and you hit it on the head. If you don't believe it's possible with anything, right? If someone said, hey, would you like to be a millionaire? Sure, I'd like to. Hey, would you like to, have a home in the mountains? Sure.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people, but if you don't see how, and you don't have someone, again, helping you in that space that's done it and that can get you there, then it really doesn't seem possible. So you're not going to
have no belief.
Right?
You have no level of belief for that. Okay, so we're winding down to our last few minutes.
Okay.
What other things do you want the listeners to know about what you do, or any other nuggets to give us?
I would just say, I think a lot of times there's like we talked about, and this might sound like a broken wheel, but it's how I feel when it comes to this. There's so many options that I think a lot of times we choose nothing. A lot of times people are just like, I don't know what to do. I know I need to lose weight. But with that, with not knowing which thing to pick, it's like there's so much information that you pick nothing.
Right.
So whether they're calling me, whether they're doing anything, whatever they pick.
Right. Do something.
Pick something. Right. Pick something and just work, little baby steps with whatever it is that you pick. Because again, when we feel better, we show up better. We all know this, it's and very quickly. I mean, I know with our program, within a week, I have people texting me, like, wow, like my cravings are going down and I'm sleeping better and my inflammation is going down. So, I mean, those things are worth doing some extra work, but it's going to take some work. And I have a sign in my bedroom that says, don't wish for it, work for it.
Yeah. Oh, I like
things that are desirable take work. A good relationship takes work, I mean, so I would just say, and for those that are out there, I do, free health assessments. So my website is, I had to think about it.
What is my website? I don't remember.
Healthandhopecoach.com.
Healthandhopecoach.com.
And it's all, in one word, but I have a free health assessment there. And all it is it's like coffee with you. I mean, it's just pretty much a conversation. I let them know what I can offer, and it's month to month. And if you're getting the results you like, we do another month. If for some reason it's not a good fit, that's fine, But at least you'll know after our talk if it's something that seems like it could
Right.
be something of help for you. So
And if it's something that needs to wait like a
Yeah,
month or two, then
just like
that's
that.
totally okay.
Exactly.
Because it's a
It's a
journey,
conversation.
right? It's
Yes, exactly.
getting healthy.
And
is a
sometimes
journey.
people just calling me gives them the desire now to go to even do something else, which I'm fine with that too. It might spur something on
Right.
that they're like, I need to get back to that habit of walking again, or I
Right,
need to.
right.
So that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's wonderful that you don't care what it is they do as long as they're moving in the right direction towards
Exactly.
getting healthy. Because
Exactly.
I think that just shows your passion in that
Thank you.
space for helping people.
Thank you.
To make a change in their life. That's awesome.
I'm proud of you.
Thank
Super
you.
proud of you.
It's been it's definitely a journey for me. And
Any plans for 60 of where you guys want to go or what you want to do?
I don't necessarily have any plans for that. We do, next year is our 30th wedding anniversary, so we have talked about Italy for that.
Nice.
That's kind of the plan for that. We've been talking about that for a long time. So likely we'll do that. But the big 6-0, I'm not sure yet, but I do want to be in the best shape of my life at that point, and so I'm
Love
working
it.
really hard toward that goal, and thankfully I have a couple years left because I still have a long road ahead. Okay, we're out of time, my friend, but thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
back on the show
It was
again.
great. Appreciate it.
We will have you come back again at some point and educate us some more
Sounds
about how
good.
we can be healthier and have hope again in our lives. So, all right, my friends,
Thank you,
you
Miss
for
Clara.
coming. Thank you. I appreciate your time so much. Thank you for coming out every week and listening to what I have to say. I love showing up each week and sharing guests with you that have something encouraging or wonderful or interesting to say. I appreciate that you show up every week. And then, of course, when you show up and I don't have a guest, you're so kind to listen to all the things that I have to say to you. I am here to help you be a savvy entrepreneur. As you know, that's my passion in life, is helping people to thrive in their business or their ministry or their cause. And I love that you show up every week for me. Thank you once again. I will see you next time, same place, same time, and we will do something else fun, teaching you to be a savvy entrepreneur. Thanks so much again. Take care.